How's it going, everybody? In this video we're going to be looking at some custom Cyber Dragon cards. These should be cards that Konami should be printing for us because we need them. Quick disclaimer though, none of these cards are my own. They're not my designs or my thoughts. All of the work goes out to their respective creator. I'll leave all the links in the description below, the things we're looking at. Also check out my Instagram. I gotta post some more stuff eventually. I'm going to revive it. I got some new Cyber Dragon stuff like this booster pack, but let's get into the video. So I'm on Reddit and we got a pretty cool post here by DG No. Got some custom Cyber Dragon support cards he created. So he did some training with AI to create the card, or at least the text of the card, not the artwork. The artwork is so cool too. Like, I don't know where he found these pictures. So let's see what AI created for some of these cards. We got Cyber Dragon Guardian. I think he wanted to change around the names a little bit, but anyway, light machine, 1800 attack, 800 defense. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the graveyard. As this card normal special summon, you can add one cyber monster from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you contribute one cyber monster, special summon one cyber monster from your hand or deck, except Cyber Dragon Guardian. You can only use each effect of Cyber Guardian once per turn. This card is basically core and emergency in one card. Because Cyber Dragon core, you're just obviously going to get emergency, then obviously you're going to play emergency to get another Cyber Dragon monster. This just beats out the middleman of Cyber Emergency. You get Cyber Dragon on the field and you get to get basically another one. This card acts as a starter, getting us an extra search by getting another cyber monster to our hand. But also we contribute a different Cyber Dragon monster to special summon another Cyber Dragon to get some additional benefits and effects, and also to feed our graveyard as well. I think this is a pretty balanced card, to be honest. Curious what you guys would think about this one. I think it's pretty balanced and I would love to see it in the game. Next up we have a super cool artwork, Cyber Dark Birth. If you have a face-up machine type monster inside the field, you can special summon this card from your hand face up on your field. If this card is normal special summon, you can target one Cyber Dragon in your hand or graveyard, special summon it to your side of the field, but its effects are negated. Also, after this effect resolves, you cannot normal special summon monsters except machine monsters. You can only use each effect of Cyber Dark Birth once per turn. So if you have a machine already in the field, you're going to get this card out for free. So then you can target a Cyber Dragon in your hand or a graveyard and special summon it. Even with the effects negated, it's still going to be pretty powerful. So at that rate, you're going to have like at least 3 machine, probably cyber monsters on the field. This card's pretty great in helping us go into our level or rank 5 plays, because it is rank 5, then we can kind of get another free monster. Yeah, I think this card's actually really good, but it might be a little too good. The main reason why I'm saying that is just because it special summons for free and then we just get another one for free. That just seems a little busted. I think there should be either a restriction on it or it just has one of those effects. But pretty sweet card. I'll take it. Give me it. Next up, Cyber Egg Printer. What is this? It's just a big orb. You just need one machine monster. Okay. Alright, I see where we're going. Once per turn, when this card is link summoned using a cyber monster, you can apply the following effects depending on the attribute of the monster used on this card's material, or that card's material. If it was a light cyber monster, you get to add one cyber spell from your deck to hand. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the graveyard. Dark, add one cyber trap card from your deck to your hand. This card is treated as a cyber dark card on the field or in the graveyard, and its attribute becomes dark. I like it. That sounds quite interesting. So this is definitely a link 1 play that we were kind of hoping for, and I think this is great because it covers both Cyber Dragons and also the Cyber Dark stuff. I really like this card, however, and the Dark isn't really that amazing though. I feel the trap cards are kind of limited. I mean, you got Cybernetic Overflow, you got like Cyber Dark Invasion, maybe Cybernetic Revolution, but the trap aspect might not be that good. But I like this a lot because if, you know, core gets negated or something, you can link this away and then boom, you basically get the effect of core again. Cool card. I'd love to see it. Next up, Cybernetic Reinforcement. This looks like something from Monster Hunter. It's a link 3, 2100 attack, and it's got some nice arrows. 2+ machine monsters, including a Cyber Dragon. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard, not on the field. Key thing. All phase of monsters in the field become machine monsters once per turn. If a fusion machine monster is special summoned to a zone, this card points to while this card is on the field, except during the damage step, you can target one card in the field, destroy it. Sweet. So a monster that acts as Clockwork Knight. Is that too overpowered? So this card's actually pretty crazy because if you get this out in the field, everything's a machine. You play Cyber Dragon, then you play Fortress Dragon, you contact fuse all of your opponent's monsters away, special summon it into one of the zones it points to, and then pop something on the field. Mwah, that's beautiful. This is a link 3, so it is a little bit to get out, which was the reason why I don't think it's that overpowered. The only problem I have is I wonder if it's too hard to get out, but I think with the effect that you get, it's really good. I really like it. I think it's spicy. Next up, we have a spell card, Cybernetic Reinforcement. Special summon one level 4 lower cyber monster from your hand. If you control a cyber monster, you can special summon from your deck instead. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except machine monsters. During your turn, except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Add one cyber spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. This card's actually really good because it can help you get you through some plays. Let's say you have like Cyber Dragon Core in the field and it gets popped and it gets destroyed. You can play Cybernetic Reinforcement. Unless you already have something in your hand, you get another special summon or just another card at least on the field. So at least you get a Cyber Dragon out. But it could also act as an extender because if you already have a Cyber Dragon, you get one from your deck, which definitely gives it access to a lot of different plays. But also having the ability to banish this card from our graveyard and kind of continue our plays the following turn to have some follow-up stuff, that's actually really good too because that's something that Cyber Dragons really lacks. All around, this is definitely a card that would really help out, I think, our game plan. And I don't think this card is really overpowered at all either. Having the restrictions to making you only special summon machines, as well as not being able to banish this card from your graveyard the turn it's sent there, I think makes it a lot more realistic of a card to actually have. I do really like the idea of this card giving us some extra special summon as well as just some extender play potentially, but also giving us some follow-up plays is going to be pretty helpful. Cybernetic counter attack. If you only control machine type monsters, you activate this card from your hand. When an opponent's monster declares an attack while you control a cyber monster, you can negate the attack and special summon one cyber monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. And if you do, equip it with this card. Quick effect, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, then target one face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. So assuming we have a Cyber Dragon on the field, we can negate the attack, special summon a cyber monster, then equip this. Then we could pop something on the field. No doubt in my mind that card seems good. The only problem is it a little bit too good though? Because we're negating an attack, we're getting another special summon, and then we have the ability to pop something on the field regardless. I mean, I really like it, but I don't know if this is something that Cyber Dragons, I'm not going to say Cyber Dragon wants, but is it something that the Cyber Dragon archetype, like, does it fit in with the other stuff in the game? I think a card like this would fit better with something like Cyber Barrier Dragon. Maybe something like you negate the attack and then you get to, you know, pop something on the field, but I'm just trying to think. I feel like this card, it doesn't really fit the archetype, but if you're, you know, having a conversation with Cyber Barrier Dragon, I think a card like this does pop up. I would keep this card, but I would replace Special Summon a Cyber Monster with Special Summon Cyber Barrier Dragon from the deck in defense position, and you have the ability to pop it to negate something or just something like that. I think that'd be a cool way to get Cyber Barrier Dragon out, or maybe like a newer version of Cyber Barrier Dragon. But yeah, I think something about Cyber Barrier Dragon in this card I think would be spicy. Alright, next up we got Fat Cyber Dragon. This could easily make Cyber Dragons a top tier deck. Let's move on to Cyber Barrier and Cyber Laser Dragon. This is by Master of Chaos. This is made 3 years ago. But we're looking at the same card as Cyber Barrier Dragon, but it's a pendulum. I don't like pendulums, so please don't do that, Konami. Please don't do that to us. I would love any Cyber Barrier Dragon, just preferably not pendulums. Just remove pendulums from the game. How about that? You can play it for its pendulum effects. Once per turn, you can discard one light machine monster to activate one of the following effects. Reduce the attack of one face-up monster by half the attack of the discarded monster, or destroy one set card on the field. Pretty cool. Now it's got the smallest text I've ever seen in my life. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field. If your opponent declares a direct attack while you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. When your opponent declares an attack, you can discard one card and activate one of the following effects. Change the attack to this target and negate the attack. Okay, this is going to be a lot to unpack. You would take damage from a card effect, quick effect, and you special summon one light machine monster from your hand or graveyard whose attack is less than or equal to the damage you would have taken, and if you do reduce the damage to the attack of the special summon monster, you can only use effective armor Cyber Barrier Dragon once per turn. I love Cyber Dragons. I love, you know, Cyber Barrier Dragon. I hate pendulums and I hate reading. So this card is a lot to unpack. So I do like the first effect a lot though. When your opponent declares an attack, if you have no monsters, you can just special summon this from your hand. Then you have to pitch cards to, you know, kind of activate some effects, which I think is pretty reasonable. Although Cyber Dragons can't really afford to pitch things. I mean, obviously you pitch hers, but that's one card. You really don't want to get rid of other things. Although, I mean, sometimes you do if you're playing like Overload Fusion and stuff, just filling up that graveyard, but most of the time you don't want to. The secondary effect I think is just way too much. Too much reading, too much. I think it could be a little bit better. But for a card named Cyber Armored Barrier Dragon, that's a good name. Let's move on to the Cyber Bonding Laser Dragon. Pendulum effect once per turn during either player's turn. If your opponent controls a monster's attack is 2400 or more, you can destroy the face-up monster with your highest attack. If you do inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to half the attack to destroy the monster. That's pretty fair. It's exactly what Cyber Laser would do. Although again, pendulum, So this card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field. If your opponent controls a monster with 2400 or more attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can fusion summon one machine fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. And if you do, take damage equal to the special summon monster's attack. And if you do, double the attack of the special summon monster. What? I don't think that's what Cyber Laser really wants to do. I mean, I would love a card like this. That'd be insane. But not only do you get this free special summon, then you just special summon another machine monster, and then you get to double the attack. That's crazy. I think if we move the first effect just to pop something on the field once per turn, I think it should be a quick effect. Is that too good though? If it has 2400 more attack, quick effect, you just pop one of the monsters. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I feel like a good fair Cyber Laser card might be if your opponent controls a monster with 2400 more attack, you can special summon this for free. Maybe it's a quick effect, maybe it's not, I don't know. But when it's on the field, you can quick effect, tribute a Cyber Dragon monster on your side of the field and pop an opponent's monster with 2400 more attack. Maybe inflict damage, maybe not. I feel like Cyber Dragons isn't like a burn deck, so inflicting the damage might not be that, reasonable. But I think some quick effect pop with 2400 and more attack would be actually what Cyber Laser Dragon would be doing. Let me know your thoughts on that though. I think that'd be pretty spicy. I think just a quick effect pop anything is kind of like way too overpowered, but I think having to tribute something or just us losing some resource, maybe discard a card or tribute one Cyber Dragon monster on the field, something like that, I think that'd be pretty good. Another card we got is from Batmed, Cyber Dragon Proto Nova, 2100 attack, 1600 defense. You can discard one other machine type monster, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summon, you can add one cyber spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can send one machine type monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon one Cyber Dragon from your graveyard. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while it's on the field in the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. I like it. I think it's pretty good. You still have to discard, which is pretty bad, but again, we're trying to make it reasonable. So if you discard something, you special summon this for free, then you get a spell or trap. That seems actually pretty good. Then you can even send this to the graveyard to get another Cyber Dragon. Actually, it seems pretty fair, to be honest. I could definitely see a card like this, getting printed. Honestly, I think this is just a well-rounded card. And it's just one of the machine type. It doesn't say Cyber Dragon monster or anything like that, just machine type. So you can play it both in the light and dark cyber builds. All in all though, I think that's a pretty justified card. It's kind of a mixture of normal Cyber Dragons with, Cyber Dragon Core. I think out of all these, the card that I want to see the most is like Cybernetic Reinforcement, something like that. This card is pretty good, but the problem is by the time we get it out, we could just probably win the game some other way. But yeah, we need some we just need some good starting cards we can play every single turn. We need to prioritize getting some really good starting cards that help us, get through our plays and get us to a good level. We don't need cards that make us go over the top. We just need consistency cards that generate us some type of advantage because we have so much disadvantage. But yeah, I think a lot of these are pretty spicy, and I wish, we get at least something close to something like this. Thank you all the people out there making some Cyber Dragon support cards. Super cool. Love the ideas. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos. See you later.